This Philadelphia Eagles offense, it's on the verge of breaking out. But it's not in the way that you think, nor is it probably in the quarter that you think. Stick around. We got a lot to discuss here, everybody. What's up, Cerebral football fans? My name is Steven Hyder. This is Gate City Sports Channel. If you're new to the channel, this may be the first, second, third time you caught my content, and you will enjoy today's discussion. Hey, everybody, we just crossed over 6,600 subscribers, a new milestone for this channel. We're on a journey. We're on a path towards 7,500. I would love for you guys to become a part of that equation and join the Cerebral football community. Just need you to subscribe to do that. Small G subscribers, hat in hand, you already know what I ask you to do, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, smash the like button, help me spike this algorithm, and get this in front of new people that we could potentially convert into our little audience here on YouTube. All right, y'all. Today's topic. There is a quarter that we are just absolutely on the verge of really breaking out in. And I hate to play spoiler, but it ain't the third quarter, guys. That's a completely different video with a completely different set of things going on. But there is a quarter to where we have had 16 possessions. 16, that sounds like a lot, doesn't it? It's because it is. Those 16 possessions have resulted in a league-leading 112 plays run. Significantly more than the next closest team, which is like 9 or 10 plays away from us. Like one whole really long sustaining drive away from what we've done over 6 games is our closest opponent. And with all that said, when you look back at the numbers, this quarter that I'm referring to has only resulted in 14 offensive points. It's a complicated story, but nonetheless, if you ask me, what quarter do you think the Eagles are about to get right? I think it's the first quarter, and we're about to get into why I believe that. The biggest reason I believe this is because although we've only managed to score 14 points in the first quarter, when you look at possessions, the 16 possessions that began in the first quarter, 8 of them, that is half, have resulted in points. And here's the kicker. 7 touchdowns to 1 field goal. 31 out of the 45 points from those 16 possessions came on the board in the second quarter. I think we are due for this offense to finally explode, to open up and begin games. And that's the real lesson and what I learned from charting these last 6 games and paying attention to the offensive flow of the first quarter. The objective is to score early, to score on the first possession. That's how we're going to increase the total points awarded to us in the first quarter. But the challenge there is that when you look at the 16 possessions that occurred in the first quarter, there's 6 games, that's been 6 early opportunities, 6 first possessions to put points on the board. We've only done that twice. So 2 out of 6. Not very good, guys. I mean, we're talking about a 33% rate here. That's what I think is about to change for the Philadelphia Eagles, because going from 2 out of 6 to 8 out of 16, I think we're on the verge of getting it right in the first quarter. I don't think we're that far off. And just to give you a little piece of what I mean by this, there are 2 really golden examples of the Philadelphia Eagles striking fast and striking, decisively to open the second quarter, when all the production happened in the first quarter. And these are 2 plays that will stand out in your mind. The first one, the Quez Watkins bomb, 50-plus yard pass. First play of the second quarter versus the Vikings, Quez Watkins got loose and open. It was one play, man. One play in the second quarter is when the points came. All the work was really done in the first quarter, but it is what it is, right? The other play. We went on a 15-play, 80-yard, over 7.5 minute drive last week against Dallas, versus Dallas, technically. Guys, one play into the second quarter, Miles Sanders ran a 5-yard touchdown. So we're already kind of on the verge of this getting corrected, this getting righted. And to be honest, using language like corrected and righted is probably not the right terminology, not the right language to use in this circumstance. But you get what I mean here. We're very close for these points to not only start piling in the second quarter, they're going to start manifesting themselves in the first quarter too, because the numbers, the point totals that we're hearing between the first, second, third, and fourth quarter, they're a little misleading, guys, because like I said, 31 of the points put up in the second quarter, you could make a legitimate argument that the majority of the production on 24 of that 31 points really and honestly happened in the first quarter of football games. The only real example I called on film of the opposite was the Arizona game. There was a play, a sequence of plays in the Arizona game, a drive, to where it went 16 plays, and 11 of those happened in the second quarter.
That's an Eagles touchdown. He's 2 for 2.
Why do I think our fortunes are about to reverse in this particular quarter? I look at what went wrong when it went wrong. And the first commonality that I found is the 3 and outs. There's only 3 of them. 3 out of 16 resulted in a 3 and out. It's a pretty good margin, honestly. What happened when we got put in those situations? What caused the 3 and out? In a lot of the cases, we were put behind the sticks, making potential conversion to prolong the drive, calling it into question. And I do think that that's something that we've got to keep in mind, the staff has to keep in mind. They need to keep in mind that, keeping the offense in rhythm is a big part of our success, and getting us behind the sticks with the way that we operate our offense can be quite detrimental. I'm not saying that we haven't overcome a lot of that stuff with, great plays from Jalen Hurts, but it's not ideal, and it has got us a couple times here, a few times on the season. The other thing I noticed is that we do get aggressive when we cross over into, our opponent's territory. So there are times that we're clearly moving the football, we're clearly driving the ball on our opponents, but we get over into the other side of things and things stall out and we go for it and we don't convert, we turn the ball over on downs. That accounts for a few more of those possessions. And I think these are all things that can easily be cleaned up to where you can get a possession or two where there's a win there. And I think, just looking at, take 6 possessions, if you can win 1 out of those 6, that's going to create a difference in your point outcome. The last area I'll say that they can clearly improve upon. And I know that the overarching philosophy of this coaching staff is to throw it early and run it late. The majority of the league is kind of that way now. And, we've had great success this season doing that. But I will say when you chart the plays, there's 112 plays. Like I said, we lead the league in plays in the first quarter. Of those 112 plays, 70 of them are from passes, 42 of them are for runs. That works its way out to a 62 to 38 pass-to-run ratio, which on the surface doesn't sound that bad. But I would be willing to bet that it's a little misleading, and that it's probably really closer to a 65-35 kind of threshold. And I would take a wild guess that some of the scrambles and some of the things that Jalen Hurts can do with his feet are accounting for some of that run total that we're seeing there. So with that said, maybe, I'm not saying that, I'm not predicting that we're just going to all of a sudden in the first quarter game start going dominant with the run. I don't see that happening yet. But you can be more balanced with it, right? You can run more on first downs. In particular, set yourself up for more successful second and third down plays. So I do think that is an area where this offense can still grow. That said, guys, we're actually doing quite well in the first quarter. I mean, yes, we had that initial stall, like the first possession isn't going our way, but the subsequent second and when we get the opportunities for third possessions in the first quarter, they are resulting in drives that put up points in the second quarter. So the coaching staff is making pretty decent adjustments to what they see from the game plan. Like, oh, this is how they're planning on trying to slow this offense down. See if you can stop it if we do this. That part of the offense has been quite good at the end of the first quarter going into the second quarter. I think we're on the verge of us getting points in that first quarter, guys. But we still need to talk about the third quarter, and that'll be coming up on a separate video. That's the true in-game adjustment stuff. That's the things you do coming out of halftime. That's a whole different thing, and I think there's a much broader conversation around that topic as well. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all's time and attention. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. And, hey, man, see y'all in the next video.